All right, MLB All-Star Game reaction from tonight that just happened. The National League just beat the American League. Kyle Schwarber. I'm not watching it right now, but he probably just won MVP because in the first ever swing off, he hit 3 home runs to put the National League ahead, and then it was like Jonathan Aranda as the third AL guy, and he did not hit a home run. Hit a ball off the wall. It was like feet from going out, but even his swings watching it, you knew that he probably wasn't going to hit a home run there. So that was like the one disappointing part of the swing off was the National League stacked the deck and they won without Eugenio Suarez because he got scratched, and so they sent Kyle Stowers up there, and it was Stowers, it was Schwarber and Alonso. Pete Alonso didn't even have to hit because they won 4-3, and the American League sent up Randy Rosarena and Aranda and Brent Rooker, I think, was the first one, and he homered a couple of times. But that was elite entertainment. I was entertained by that. Well, maybe I shouldn't say elite entertainment. Elite entertainment would have been like the starters actually stay the entire game and they're not on flights home, and you have the big guys go. You have Judge up there, you have Otani up there. You know, like that sort of stuff. But the swing off, instead of it just continuing to go, I'm in favor of that. Like it's the All Star game, it doesn't matter. The AL versus NL, like I like that format obviously, and I love that they brought the jerseys back. But it's not like World Series home field advantage is on the line. So have some fun with it. And the guys, you look at the guys in the National League dugout, not even in the dugout, they were outside the dugout, which I thought was cool. Both dugouts outside the dugout. And they were pumped up about it, seeing Schwarber hit bombs like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, I'm more of a fan of the All Star game than the Home Run Derby. I thought that the Home Run Derby had an interesting field, and I thought it would be interesting, and it was to me an interesting Home Run Derby. But the All Star game, it's the one All Star game. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think the WNBA All Star game is actually very competitive. It's fun to watch, especially when they do the Team USA versus the WNBA All Star like they did last year. But like NBA, obviously, like I'd rather watch the 3-point contest than the actual game. Pro Bowl, I don't even watch. I don't even really know what they do anymore with that because I'm not that big of an NFL fan anymore. So I couldn't really tell you. MLS is coming up next week. We'll see what happens with that. I did see that Anders Dreyer is going to be in the skills competition. Lindsay Heaps as well, who's married to Tyler Heaps. So that should be interesting. But no, like the MLB All Star Game, obviously is like of the four major sports. If it's just NBA, we're not including WNBA. Yeah, it's the one that like is the only one that's actually worth watching. So it was fun. I did enjoy it. Now Padres players not the best. Adrian Morhone got a couple of batters, didn't allow. Excuse me, he did allow both base runners reached. Robert Suarez got taken out of the game there in the ninth inning, had the save opportunity, and then Edwin Diaz ended up coming in after him. Yeah, Suarez gave up a run. I do give credit to Dave Roberts for like actually being, a good manager and like not keeping Suarez in that situation and allowing him to only face the amount of batters that he did. Morhone, couple batters, like you get the All Star game appearance. I know if you're Morhone, you want to get an out, but at the same time, it's like, hey, you pitched in an All Star game. It's just a great accomplishment to even be named an All Star and then to pitch in the game. Like that's still pretty cool. Um, Manny did strike out looking. There was that whole ABS system. Who am I forgetting? Tatis. He did. He struck out one, I think, against Chapman late in the game. He did walk and then stole second base though. So it was not the he scored he scored, right? Yeah, he scored on the Pete Alonso home run. Um, wasn't the best day for Padres in the All Star game, but it doesn't matter. It's whatever. It's the All Star game. What I cared about was I entertained, and so it's not even about did Padres players perform well, and so that's why I was entertained. For me, is like the All Star game. For me, I try to take the Padres fan out of it. Obviously, you can't because that's just who I am. But I try to enjoy it as a baseball fan, like regardless of what happens. Like the swing off, for example. I wasn't really thinking during it, like, man, I wish Tatis was in this. That would have been cool, but I was just enjoying it as a baseball fan, seeing what was going to happen. Um, and there was an opportunity there for someone like Aranda to make a name for himself if he did, hit a home run there or something, hit a couple home runs. But just overall, like showcasing the game, I wasn't able to watch all 9 innings, but it seemed like it was an entertaining contest still. The Hank Aaron thing that they did, I thought that was great. I did like how they wore number 3. I think it was for Dale Murphy, who is still alive, by the way. But one of the leagues wore number 3, and then the other wore number 44 for Hank Aaron in their BP uniforms, I believe. I did like that aspect of it. Like, if at Petco, you had in 2016, you had like one team wearing 51, one team wearing 19. That would have been pretty cool too. So, yeah, that's what I've really got on the All-Star game. And all I've got to say other than that is like, please, these guys that are All-Stars, right, our 5 All-Stars, go enjoy these next couple of days. Don't do anything because it's going to be, a grind the rest of the way for this unofficial second half of the season. And the Padres, they are in a better spot than they were last year at this point in time. Last year, they were 2 games over 500 through their first 96 games or whatever it's been. This year, I want to say they're 8 games over 500. What are they, 52 and 44 right now? Padres record. Yeah, 52 and 44. And they hold that last wild card spot at the moment, which doesn't matter, but just throwing it out there. So for all like the complaining and the negativity, I, I understand it because like they got off to a great start. And so you want to continue that, but that probably wasn't realistic that they were going to continue that, especially when you factor in not having Michael King this whole time, being without you, Darvish, obviously, for a while. Just, Merrill had a couple of injuries, had the concussion, arise as well. So, all in all, like, it's still a fine spot to be in. We know that additions are coming for the pods, before the trade deadline here. And what's interesting here is the trade deadline, it's right there. It's a couple of weeks away. You had the draft this week, and then boom, you got the trade deadline. So I would expect obviously more conversations to pick up, more reports to be put out there since we're now post draft. Which the draft usually it took 3 days. It only took 2 days this time around. So that is complete. AJ Preller continuing to draft super cool names like Cruz Schoolcraft as the first round pick, the number 1 pick. And hopefully, by the way, you guys can hear me better. I know the last show, that Phillies series reaction, the audio was terrible, so I apologize for that. I was the company that I'm under. I'm trying to explain this in the most like simplest way. The company that I'm under, because I do get paid for the podcast part of it. And the only way I get paid through that is through this company. So, they moved their like free platform for us for the different podcasters on the network. They moved your streaming platform to Riverside, and I was on StreamYard. Now, after trying Riverside and the audio issues and just the layout, I just like StreamYard better. It's just easier for me. I think it's better for you guys as well that are watching visually on YouTube. I decided to, you know what? Sure, I'm not getting it for free, but I'll pay for it. I want to have the best, content out there. I want you guys to be able to enjoy the show and not be, oh man, this audio sucks and have to turn the volume all the way up to hear it, and it cutting in and out. Sometimes it might. I know it did still on StreamYard a little bit, but that's the Wi-Fi. I don't that's not the software, I don't think. So we'll see how that works. What I will say though is super chats are appreciated because I'm paying $45 a month for StreamYard now because I'm not getting it for free. But I want the best content out there for you guys. So hopefully you appreciate that I am switching back here to StreamYard to hopefully, get this audio thing fixed. So that's what I've got. Enjoy these next couple of days before the Padres are back in action for a long road trip, starting off in Washington, D.C., to face off against James Wood and the Nats.